All right. We're here with black white stuff in Explorer Best of 3. And yeah, just a departure from a Teferi list. Just kind of in the mood for something like this. Feel pretty confident about it just looking at it. We have card advantage with Bankbuster. We have a ton of spot removal. So hopefully our creature and planeswalker opponents are kind of sad, leaving us vulnerable to maybe some weird combos, but we'll see. I have big sweepers, main deck Cling to Dust still. For sideboard, I have Cling to Dust as well, just as the really the only way to interact with people's graveyards other than farewell exiling them. And I like I have the hiccups, so I apologize, but I don't know what to tell you. I really like Edgar. So hopefully Edgar does something. I kind of don't think he will, but I really like this card. Oh man, this is going to be bad. It's pretty hard to deal with it once it resolves, but there are counter spells everywhere, and there's a fair amount of exile, but I still think it's worth it to try. I have a lot of fun with this guy in Historic Brawl, just as a thing you cast once and then your opponent just sort of stares at it. It's been a while since you could do that though, because Atali doesn't care about oh jeez, I swear I haven't drunk anything. I just Atali doesn't care what you're doing. But in Explorer, maybe there's room for this card. Like Liliana the Veil minus twoing this, you're just always happy, right? So I think this will be good. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not running Liliana the Veil. I'm running Liliana the Last Hope. I like the clock that the ultimate puts out, and the plus is fine. Discarding my own cards is a little annoying when I have all this like greedy value stuff as opposed to like what's it called? Oh jeez. What's it? The tenacious underdog, stuff like that you're happy with going to the graveyard. Oh man. Other than that, obviously for Thoughtseize, I had a Black March in here, but I think Fatal Push is just where I want to be a little bit more. We'll see. There seems to be a lot of manlands, so we're gonna have some Field of Ruins. Might want to go to 3 of these. Who knows? But I have a manland of my own. Might go up one of these at some point instead of a 4th Field of the Ruin, but this is how it is now. Obviously, the end. If it wasn't for this card, I wouldn't do any of this. This is where this card is my life right now. I love it. So the sideboard is Duresses. You could maybe do a 3rd one instead of the 3rd Pithing Needle. I just really like Pithing Needle right now. D-Spark, just to deal with pesky permanents that are dummy thick. Fracture, just it's kind of like a goofy naturalize that blows up planeswalkers, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's black-white. It hits a lot of things. It could just be fractured. What's it called? The black-white spell that exiles a monocolored permanent. There are some multicolored permanents you can't answer that you would really want to answer. So maybe 1 and 1, but this is as is right now. And then 4 Noxious Grasps, just because I didn't really know what to think to fill the rest of it in. And I also think there's plenty of matchups where this is actually just solid. So hopefully we bump into those ones. There's a lot of mono green devotion, and there's like Teferis floating around there, right? And just red-white aggro, and it's just solid. I think if there's ever going to be a 4... if there's ever going to be a 4 card slot here in the sideboard, this is probably your 4 of. So we're going to start with that. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's see how we do. I think I like it just enough. Oh man, resolving March of Otherworldly Light is so annoying. There's like 5 buttons you have to push. It's like, are you sure you don't want to exile your entire hand? Like, yes. I think I'm sure of that. It's like, are you sure you're sure? Like, yes, I am. Okay, obviously keep our opponent off of mana as long as possible so I can get to a point at which I can comfortably deal with 14,000 Karn Wishboard poop. Nonsense that I'd rather not deal with. Which one of these? I guess this one and plus it? I don't know how useful the minus is. Actually, I will minus once so I can harass a 4-drop here. Like a Planeswalker or Kiora. I mean, you do or you don't. There you go. Kiora has 7 loyalties. It's disgusting. Alright, that was a huge draw. Although, I mean, to be fair, I have quite a few of those. Okay, let's kill this. I'm just completely bullying my opponent right now. It's just, this is illegal right now. I could still lose this game. Okay. Incredibly annoying. Looks like I drew into a land. Absolutely annoying. But that's just how my life is sometimes. Let's make another token. I can... What can I do here? Nothing? Just this? Okay. Exile this with Wandering Emperor? I wouldn't want to see another cycling creature. But their whole deck is like 3 mana, so... And there's a cycling creature, yep. Kiora just drawn cards. Kiora has been a divination that I've had to throw 7 damage into. That also gave them mana. Interesting. Well, I mean, if it's going to die anyways, it doesn't matter. How am I doing today? Doing fine. Well, assuming we win games of Magic here. Okay, get to get rid of that. I could -1 and double block, but I kind of want to keep the flyer. And they'll definitely kill the flyer. Leave me with the 2/2. It doesn't really do much, so. Okay, let's do this here. Let's do here, here. Plus. Okay. Not too good here. Do I exile the creatures? It gets rid of this. I mean, I can just Murderous Rider it, but I don't want to. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I'm farewelling. Well, something's telling me maybe I really wanted to. No, let's just do this. I don't know. Keeping up a Murderous Rider is kind of good. It kills kind of anything they throw at me, right? Particularly... Oh, look, it's Karn. The one card I never want to see. My opponent just got Treasure Vault. Okay. What? Sure. I don't think I've seen that before. Ever. Unusual. Alright, so we can kill Karn on board, so I don't really have to worry about this, like, Murderous Rider going to the wrong thing here. Surely my opponent will figure out how to pass a turn. Surely. Or not. Or we're stuck. Alright, they figured it out. Look at them. Look at them go. Look at them be their best selves. Alright, we're back to waiting. Guess it's hard to play Magic or something. I don't know. The whole hand is kind of annoying. But the second Karn... I mean, the Storm to Festival is annoying too. No, I gotta take the card what I was talking about. Plus, I'd like to see another Thoughtseize, maybe? You can always... Oh, I actually did find another Thoughtseize. Wow. Okay. This treasure vault is holding priority, so we're just trapped in the abyss till our opponent, like, plays the game. I'm going to take Storm here. Going to... Plus? Or do I make a token? The token can never realistically do anything. So I think I'll just plus here. Can only play one. Exiling their graveyard doesn't do much. It would just to push damage. Is that better than... I mean, I can just play these later. This is half their life total. But I do have to kill Karn, so... It's not half. Oh my lord. This turn would have been 10 times faster had my opponent not... Like, they could just push Shift-Enter on their keyboard, and they wouldn't have to sit here through all this nonsense. Could just let me play the game. My time is limited, my friend. Okay, we got ourselves in this position. We got a 2-turn clock in the air. I don't have an answer to the reach blocker, but that's not too big of a deal. I'm sure I'm fairly likely to find one. This has Menace as well. If I kill this Cavalier... Let's do this here. I have no idea what they're thinking about, but I can see them be here. Okay, they figured it out. I can tick this up slowly with a Wandering Emperor. Obviously, the reach is just absolutely embarrassing for me. I can swing with the Hive, and they take 6. I'm not thought-seizing right now, so let's do this. I can even plus on the Hive. I can plus on the Hive, right? Does that make sense? I feel like it does. Because they can't block it. Unless they want to. But then they just take 6 in the air. Yeah, I think just pushing damage is just... This is what we want to do. Let's take the card. Alright, they do actually double block this. So we do that. We kill the Mystic. And they take 6. And then... I guess I just Thoughtseize. This has reach on the front side. I didn't even notice that. It has reach on both sides. Which, I mean, kind of makes sense, right? Alright, so we just kind of hope they have Stone Cold nothing but this Cavalier as a, like, thing that matters. That way they can't swing with it. They take 3, and then the Cavalier stabilizes. So... Oh, wait. Does that kill them? Crew this and swing? No, because this wasn't blocking anyways, and now it would be able to, so... I can let it die by putting a counter on this with the Emperor. I think I'm just gonna go wide. We're just gonna do this, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna play a Murderous Rider. This makes sense to me. They cannot cast this Storm the Festival, so we're just gonna do this. And put them to 1. Just put them to 1 here. Gain a bunch of life, yada yada yada. Boils down to a top deck. I don't think there's any card that gets him out of this, so this makes sense to me. We found the line. Nice. Alright. Opponent held priority for 600 years because of a treasure vault, and then lost anyways. Okay, we want those. We can take out... I mean, March is wishy-washy. What is, like, super sus here? Pithing Needle can... They have, like, Besage You, and that's about it. Pithing Needle can stop Karns. Doesn't stop Kiora. It's just really Karn. Is that worth it? I don't think so. D-Spark does not hit 3 drops, but it does hit everything else, so I think I want that. So we can take out Cling. Fatal Push hits the 15,000 mana dorks, which they inevitably have because they have like 14 or 8, and there's always like one on turn 1, so maybe a mix of these. Like Doomscar might be too much. And Fatal Push is probably my weakest card. Okay. Fracture is decent as well. So is Pithing Needle. These are both solid. What a mana dork is? Oh, it's a 1 mana creature you play, usually on turn 1, that taps for mana. So it's like basically playing 2 lands on turn 1. It's just a creature that taps for mana. Alright. They're going to play... Oh, they did not have one. Oh, they didn't have one. Oh my goodness. Well, that's all really bad. What's the worst here? I mean, Karn is the worst, so... Karn is like the worst one, so I gotta do that. They don't even have a Nykthos, actually. So that's also really good. I have a Field of Ruin as well, so if they just like find a Nykthos randomly, I can do something about it. My opponent did not play a creature here. I guess that makes sense. They want to actually just start drawing cards with their stuff. If I can protect a Liliana for 12 turns somehow, that's pretty cool. I don't think that's going to happen. Or, I mean, what, 3, 4 turns? Don't think that's realistic, but, I mean, it's possible. It is possible. They manually tapped it. That's adorable. Okay, I'm just gonna... Oh, God. Just can't not have it, huh? Alright, can't not have it. So I do this because Fatal Push works. I've triggered Revolt. This isn't even, like, good. I don't even feel good about doing this right now, but... You gotta do what you gotta do. But this is, yeah, blowing up Nykthos here was kind of, like, useless. Because they just have a bunch of mana now, still. Like, it just didn't really do anything. The permanents are 2 and 3, so these marches are probably best served not dealing with that land. Yeah, maybe just blowing up Nykthos wasn't ideal. Like, maybe just not what I was supposed to be doing. Well, I took out some of my board wipes, but no, not all of them. Immediately finds another Nykthos anyways, because of course. And can immediately use it, because of course. Wait, what? Okay. It's kind of weird. I mean, they basically had all the men in the world. I don't think they had to do that. Maybe they did. I don't know. Does this change on the flashback side? No, same thing. Yeah, I'm starting to really regret not casting the end on Old Troll, huh? Would have been pretty useful. Okay, that doesn't get haste, does it? No. Okay, so I'd say top deck Farewell is pretty good, but I don't have 6 mana. And we're dead. Alright, I'm going to look at my opponent's list by casting the end on something. 2 lands in hand. Yep, must be nice. Totally need a hand now. 4 Karns still. What do they sideboard? Feral Encounter? I don't think they sided that in. Oh, okay, you know what? They didn't have much left. It's kind of funny. Like, threat-wise, it actually just didn't have much left going on. Huh. So, I don't know if I want to keep Liliana. I'm starting to notice it is kind of slow. Maybe we want Pithing Needles instead, or like do 1 Pithing Needle. Obviously need something in my deck still to like win the game. Maybe a Doomscar over like the 3rd Wandering Emperor. Just so I don't get hit by the board so aggressively. But I'm not too confident about that, to be completely honest. It's just I'm not confident about that at all. Oh boy. Alright, surely this is enough. Gonna take a Menadork. Again, no Menadork. But it's Karn again. Funny that. So I can exile the Wolf Willow Haven. I don't know if I'm doing that immediately. Should I? Probably. I guess it depends what I draw. Okay. I will never get used to casting this card. If I can just stop them from doing stuff, I'm happy, but I don't know. They cast Kiora last time instead of a creature, yeah, so now we get to Murderous Rider it before it draws 15 cards, which is nice. Alright. Just cast our Emperor? Surely there's no random hexproof card or anything like that, right? No surprise game 3 sideboarding? Oh, just another copy, yep. Okay, so I can play this block and then Fatal Push. I guess I'll do that. You can also put a counter on this too, so this gives Wandering Emperor some moderate value, I guess. But I'm just going to block here and Fatal Push. And Karn. Yep. Getting Treasure Vault again. Unusual. Very, very, very unusual. I will despark this. Very strange. And I think I'll actually Doomscar... you know, I think I'll just leave up Noxious Grasp. I'll just Noxious Grasp this Cavalier. It's pretty likely to hit a Nykthos. It does not. Okay. Does not hit Nykthos. Love to see it. So what do they put on top? Karn? Oh, okay, they just put that on top, sure. Makes sense to me. I can shuffle it away, actually. Maybe I should just shuffle this card away. This Storm the Festival. This isn't great, but it's not terrible. They did want it, so... Yeah. Again, the planeswalkers are way more scary than the creatures, but they draw right. Come on. Come on, dude. Just go a turn without a card. Oh, I'm losing my mind. Oh, I hate this card. Why must you be, Karn? Why must you be? You're not even green. You're not even green. Opponent's just running cards off the top. Dude. Making me bald over here. Alright, they actually got a good card for once, which is horrendously bad for me, but what am I going to do about it? Literally nothing, because that's all I can do. Alright, well they obviously just chump block here, but I'm going to swing anyways. Get one of these stupid elves out of the way. I'm going to count Dracula and plus, or Thorn and plus. I calls them as I sees them. Oh, cool! It's a land. I woke up today and I'm like, man, I can't wait to top deck lands. Man, if they really needed that Elvish Mystic to cast this, that's like doubly devastating. Oh, that's so stupid. So annoying. So annoying. This card is the bane of my existence, I swear. At least, I mean, in this matchup, it is obviously not every matchup. Okay, so what now? I kill Karn, and then I Doomscar? I guess. This Sovereign will blow up this, but I mean, I kind of have to Doomscar, right? I don't know what universe I don't Doomscar. Seems kind of weird not to. Blind. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should minus this. No, they're just going to kill it anyways. They're literally going to kill it with the Sky Sovereign, so it doesn't matter if I minus or plus. And I'd rather not use this for Sky Sovereign. Rather just, like, not ever do that. And this having Unearthed is kind of spooky scary, but well, I can survive it. What is the Unearth actually mana-wise? Is it 8 mana? It is. Alright, well, if I draw lands, then everything my opponent does is spooky scary, obviously. What's the crew on this 3? Okay. Fortunately, I have an exile effect for this, which is way better than not having that. I'm sorry, is that a chariot? Whoa. Opponent just has a chariot. Okay. Opponent just has a chariot. Well, 5, 6, 7, 8. This doesn't change anything, like, at all. So, killing one of these doesn't impact anything. I'm also just dead. Alright, cool. So, a turn 3 option? Well, it depends. Liliana of the Veil lets you discard bad cards in a given matchup. The -2 is solid. The Liliana of the Dark, whatever it's called, the one I'm running, it just puts a clock in your opponent where they have to kill it or they lose, basically. Because the zombie army is just going to win the game. So it depends what you expect to play against. If you're an explorer, like I am right now, well, you're playing Super Friends, so do whatever you want at that point. Yeah, just do whatever, man. You know? You're playing Super Friends. You're out there to have a good time. You're gonna get beat up by like some of the highly competitive decks anyways. So honestly, just do what you want. And that's the magic of Magic. You can do what you want. If you play ranked, then I don't know. I'd have to see your list. If you're playing ranked and you're climbing with that, more power to you. Good luck. Let's give my opponent an opportunity to vomit spells onto this before I kill it. Or, well, try to kill it. 10 lands with activated abilities, so you have options. Oh, jeez. Yeah, Grease Fang. Yeah, I can see that one being a huge problem. For sure. Okay, let's use this removal spell. I really don't want to see a protection spell. Really do not want to see one. I don't know if they main deck protection spells. It's usually like they don't do that. They come in from the sideboard. Okay, good, good. Favorable into Angels and Rakdos. Oh, if you have a favorable Rakdos matchup, I'd say you're doing something right. Rakdos is pretty rough. Although, to be fair, it seems like blue-white Lotus Field has... When I play that, that's my main deck. It feels pretty good, the Rakdos matchup. Okay, no further threat. I can play this... No, I can't leave up Fatal Push. You know what? I think I should just leave up Bankbuster Push and then cast the End if they vomit a threat. That's a very good threat to end. End in a the manner. End in the manner. Clearly no protection spell, right? Hey, alright. Huge. Opponent in shambles. Oh, they only get 2? Oh, they did have a protection. They have Shelter. Is that it? Nope, they have 4 Gods Willing. Okay, that is main deck. Very well. Very well. Now this matchup feels like a dream. My opponent has no creatures, so I will just be lazy and draw cards. Let's do that. Alright. It's impossible to top deck a creature. It's literally against the rules. You just, like, can't do it. Yep, see? It's literally against the rules. Never do that. Alright, so let's do this. Does anything have haste? Monster roll, monster roll. None of this gives haste. Can I play this is the question. I think I can. I'm going to play this. I think the life gain... I mean, it's just a 2/3. It's just, like, solid as a blocker. If they somehow, like, found complete degeneracy off the top of their deck. Oh, that's, like, the worst land for them. Oof. Oof. Alright. Love to see it. That is a horrible land to see, though. I feel bad. Inspiring Vantage. Oh, you put it in your deck. Let's take the extra free card so I don't lose to it randomly. And I guess I'll do this. They do have 1 Den of the Bugbear. Okay. Yeah. Alright, I don't think my opponent can realistically win from here. Yep, opponent agrees. Oh, you're playing best of 1. Ah. Okay, yeah. That is very different. When I play ranked best of 1, I play 9 live Solemnity combos and Book of Exalted Deeds Mutavault combos because no one can sideboard to beat it. But you can't play that in best of 3 because people have the sideboards and you just straight up lose the game. Just like instantly lose every game. But best of 1, it's possible. Which I do like. I like the difference in the formats. But yeah, Super Friends is way more reasonable in that one. Way more reasonable. Oh, well, doing whatever you want is more reasonable. Alright, so they do technically have white creatures, but they also have plenty of green ones. I mean, red. Though the white ones they are spooky. I don't know. Is Cling any good? It exiles one of the... It stops, like, Arcanist in the flashback spell. Is there anything worse than that? I feel like I don't need Bankbuster if every card in my deck is just, like, really good at stopping what they're doing. Right? Like, this just feels like it makes more sense. I mean, there's an argument for Duress, too. But I'm not going to go that deep. I'm not going to go so deep with Duress. Not doing it. But, fine. I don't think I can go to 5. I can still cast these. I don't need too many lands to, like, play Magic here. I'm going to immediately kill everything. Oh, this comes in tapped. Oh, oh, this is bad. Oh, don't make me cry, please. Just play another creature, maybe. Ugh. Actual degeneracy. I really wish these didn't draw cards when they played them. It is extremely bad. Guess nothing really matters if I don't draw lands anyways, and God forbid. Alright. Force of will myself here. Sort of. Not sure why this is taking more than 2 seconds. Okay. I'm not in a position to do anything, so I just do this. I need them to stop drawing cards. That's what I need. Stop having cycling cards. There's a 4th one. There's a 5th one. Wait, what? Well, technically I'm not dead. Technically. Make them have it. Oh, you know what? I should have just cast the end to see their deck. I mean, what am I going to learn? I know exactly what their deck does. What am I actually going to be learning here? Alright, kind of weird. My opponent just didn't have anything. It was odd. Alright. Alright, it takes 12 years to cast this. You got it. Yeah, that was a 1-land hand. Do I want that other that Noxish Grasp? Maybe Farewell's too slow. Do that. Duress is probably better than Farewell? I didn't think of that. Let's try that. I think that's fine. Duress just takes protection spells and stuff, so it's not. I don't even know. Do we ever like get to turn 6? Is that like a thing we do? I should have mulliganed to 5, I guess. I don't know. Did I almost stabilize? No, not really. Not really. I guess they have spike field hazards too, so if I ever did sit at 1 life, I could just die randomly. Looks like we put our opponent back in the tank. It was not as fast as last time there. Okay. I'm gonna have to Thoughtseize on 1 for obvious reasons. Okay. If you get to turn 4, it's a miracle in this match. Yeah, playing Planeswalkers is a little rough when they just annihilate your Planeswalkers. Okay, we get to take their 1-drop, which is why I had to Thoughtseize on 1. We get to take the 2-drop. Oh my goodness. We get to take 2-drop. Huge. I could shock myself to Cling to Dust, but it's probably not right. It's probably not right. I'd love for them to play another one of these. In fact, there was an argument to let them keep this card and take one of the other spells so I could Liliana away their creature. There was probably an argument there. If ever there was an argument to be had. There was also an argument to Doom Scarring instead, so I could immediately cast it. Because now I can't if they have a creature. That might kill me, sort of, but it could be hard to do that. Okay. Alright, so they have to connive to keep it alive, which they can. Not too big of a deal for me. Okay, it's kind of a big deal. I mean, I'm still going to do it. There's a good chance this just doesn't kill me out of nowhere. I don't think it can. I mean, maybe. I could also play a second Liliana here, right? That might actually just kill this. Do I do that? I feel like I should, actually. Because, again, I don't have this foretold. I can't just... So, maybe that's... Okay, I feel like that just has to be right. There's no way I don't do this. Especially how my opponent sifted through. So I'll just get rid of something here. Okay, I'll lead with Cling to Dust, I guess. As much as I'd like to gain life, I probably should look for relevant spells. That is, in fact, a relevant spell. Do I cling this? Do I do the other cling? Well, I mean, I can do both. I don't have to do it right now. Maybe I cling for life or something. I'll just hold off on it. My opponent can't kill me, so I don't have to go for a march and then they like give it protection in response and we get into trouble. But I would love to see not this. That's the only copy in the graveyard. I mean, what am I waiting on? Why would I not do this right now? If I'm not doing it now, why am I not doing it? Let's... Because the Cling to Dust is going to get cast regardless. It doesn't matter. And they don't always have a protection spell, so... Like this, they don't have one. Then I cycle this. Plus Foretell. Another Field of Ruin. I'll blow up probably the Den. I think they have mountains, right? Be weird if they didn't have mountains. It would be kind of funny. Well, we knew what they drew. Showdown. Kind of a problem. Kind of a problem. Okay, no one draw. Destroy Evil. What? My opponent just has Destroy Evil in their deck. That's actually really funny. Okay, so I play Sorin and I make a token. They did find a creature, but it doesn't have trample. How many copies of Anger have been played? 2? Okay. They need to do something right now, and I kind of hope it involves this Legionnaire, because it doesn't have trample. I mean, it has haste, which is very unfortunate, but whatever. Oh, come on. Stupid. Lame sauce. So I lost my Liliana Ultimate. which is not really a surprise, not gonna lie. Okay, can we please not have cycling threat cards, please? Can we just not do that? Do they push 7 face, or do they stop the Liliana? They can push 7 face. The Liliana might be a problem after, but I'd be at 3. I don't know. The token from Sorin also gains life, so I feel like they're not going face with this. I feel like that's probably not what they're doing. They do. They do. Okay. They do. Alright, so let's do this. Take the other showdown. Redain. What? Snap Ultimate. So there are some cards that give this trample. I could die to this Redain because it's a flyer if I... You know what we're going to do here? Is this create a monster roll. What exactly is monster roll? It gives trample. So I get 2 zombies and I get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a lot. You know what? What do I do here, actually? Hold on. I think this is slightly better. I think this is slightly better. So I'm going to make a token, and then I'm going to pass. I'm going to make some zombies. I have solid blockers, and what's nice about this is I can gain 3 life with a Cling to Dust. So it's hard for them to kill me. I don't just die from the one card I know about, which is the main thing here. And I don't just randomly die to this rage. Okay, the fact that they thought about it means I'm probably not dead. Okay. Let's gain some life. So I wanted this Redain in play before I Doomscarred. And I think I have to triple block. It's 12 and trample. I mean, if I don't do that, it doesn't really matter because all my stuff's going to die anyways. So it doesn't really matter. Okay, they Spike Field Hazard me. That's not good. Take 13 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm alive, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think I should live here. Yeah, I go to 1. Okay. This is what we wanted. I do not have an answer to a Spike Field Hazard off the top, so I swear to the Lord if they top deck a Spike Field Hazard, I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to be an upset human being. That's what I'm going to be. Alright, they don't have it, so now we're pretty safe because I can cling to not die to that. And I think we've got it from here. They do have more haste threats, but not really going to do much with the zombies. I think it was right for them to actually go face with the 7 and give me this emblem. It was probably right. Okay, well, sure. Do I kill this? There's just no reason to kill this, right? There's no reason to kill this card. It's a lot of zombies, yeah, and it's multiplicative with the emblem here, so... Yeah, they block 1, but we get a bajillion zillion, and then they're just dead next turn. So they need something... banana sandwich right now to kill me. That has haste, but not enough. Okay, so let's just see what happens when I do this. Cool. Let's deny the card draw with a Edict. Oh, first time, yeah. Me too. Me too. It's the first time I've seen the Ultimate too. All right, we got there. Whew. I don't think there's any sequence of... Wait a minute. Is there? Hold on. Hold up. Was there a sequence of draws my opponent could have had to kill me right there? Target creature gains protection from the color of your choice. I could have lost. I could have lost. Oh, dude, I could have lost. So I'm trying to think. What could I have done to not lose? Okay, so what I needed to do to play around God's Willing here... This is a good thing. This is a good learning session. I should have cast Shieldred's Edict in response to the 10th Legion to this. So this would have died. And then this resolves. And I just let the Ancestral Anger resolve. Because if they have to cast God's Willing to give it... The protection from black means I can't block it with the zombies. This is the whole point. So if they give it God's Willing to try to just swing and kill me, I'd have Fatal Push in response to stop the God's Willing. So I actually left myself dead for a second there to a God's Willing. I don't think this is good. It cured me of my hiccups, though. Right, I had hiccups earlier in the stream, and now I don't. So that just goes to show how bad this is. You're true, my bad. No, I mean, you know, it's just. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened because the second to last turn was a Giganthan. But anyways, everything feels good in this deck, but the problem is the decks you're up against kind of replace all their threats with more cards. Like Mono Green, if they ever have Kiora, all of their threats replace themselves, and so now you just really have to deal with the Kiora before that starts happening. Or their Karn, which you can kill Karn, and you can even exile artifacts with like Farewell and stuff, but in March of Otherworldly Light. But Karn doesn't really care where it is, it can pull it out of exile. So you cannot permanently get rid of their like Cityscape Leveler. Right, it unearths itself and it goes away, and then they can just pull it out of their exile with the next Karn. So you have to deal with it basically again, while also still having to deal with the Karn. So Mono Green Devotion, even with 4 Noxious Grasps, is just so bad. It's just a horrible matchup. Pithing Needle on Kiora doesn't matter. They still draw every time they play a 4-power creature. It just doesn't stop them. The Graveyard Hate with Cling is just super solid. Like, I really like Cling. It turns into a card draw engine late game. I tend to get to late game with a weird deck like this, right? Edgar... We played against Blue-White a lot, and Edgar is very bad against Blue-White, unfortunately. But that's just the nature of it. If my opponents, for some reason, didn't leave in Farewell, it would be better, but there's no reason they wouldn't just leave in Farewell against a black-white deck where they don't really know what's going on. Well, even if they do, it's still safe to have a couple of these just sitting in your deck. So the blue-white matchup is a little rough too, which is... But the black-red Rakdos feels decent. Same with black-green. They're kind of sort of similar. It feels pretty solid. Like, I feel comfortable in those matchups. It's just the blue-white control and the mono-green, which is a huge problem. And mono-green is far and beyond the most prolific deck in the format, at least in my experience and what the internet is showing me. So if you can't beat them, join them, I guess. I don't think I'll ever play mono-green. I'm not really interested. If you've seen a mono-green deck play one game, you've probably seen it play a game 60 times. It doesn't really do anything special, right? It's like the baby version of a Tali of Historic Brawl or whatever. It's like, oh, just play green. Just green, green, green. Value, ramp value. Nykthos, you know, it's just so explosive. It's a cool deck, though. I mean, it's cool to see mono green do stuff and stuff, but that's the stuff and stuff that our stuff can't stop stuffing. We just get stuffed by that stuff. We look like a fool. So I don't recommend black-white value mid-range control nonsense. the best way to maybe change this but keep kind of like the core identity would be like put in green and then do like the Moss Knight that just came out and just go like with the rock and do rock stuff, which I do like. I really like that style of deck. I might do that at some point. It's not like controlling, but you still have just an answer to everything, and that's what I like to do. I like to answer everything. And that's what the rock is really good at doing. Powerful 1-for-1s into like a final 2-for-1 to push yourself over the edge, which Edgar was never that. So the D-Sparks were fine, but again, you like to think it's good against mono green. You have the D-Sparks, you have the Fractures, you have the Pithing Needles, you have the Noxious Grasps, and maybe even Duress. Some of the green cards and mono green are duressable. Like, your whole sideboard is like debatable for mono green, and it's still a bad matchup. It's just like that bad. It's just insane. Like, at that point, don't really even side for it. Just don't have a sideboard for mono green. You're just gonna lose if you're playing black white jank. So maybe some of these grasps can come out. They're decent against blue white though. Just nailing to fairies and wandering emperors is just super solid. If you can just answer all of those, then their few remaining threats like Shark Typhoon and like a castle and maybe a hall, storm giants, like you can probably just deal with that. So the grasps are pretty good in blue white, the matchup. So I don't know, maybe you could drop one of these for another Duress. Duress is probably even better than a grasp, same logic. I do like March. Fatal Push is I know when I started I actually didn't have basics because I'm a dummy, but once I figured that out, the Field of Ruins actually got reasonable. It just wasn't blowing my own land up for no reason. I forgot I had to actually run basics there for a second. No one saw that though. And yeah, that's about it. I wouldn't recommend this. It didn't perform too well. Is it fun? Yeah. You know, if you don't care about a climbing ladder, knock yourself out, you know. But let me know what you think about this black-white nonsense. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.